Today we're diving straight into what's really happening in the INVERMERE real estate market right now, because the November data reveals an important trend developing beneath the surface. And in a high demand recreation and lifestyle market like INVERMERE, these early signals matter. So if you're thinking about buying or selling in INVERMERE, timing right now is everything. This is a market heavily influenced by migration, recreation, and second home demand. And November's numbers show a shift that anyone planning a move in 2026 needs to understand. But before we reveal that trend, here's a quick snapshot of where the market stands. In November 2025, INVERMERE and INVERMERE Rural delivered one of the more diverse sets of results in the Columbia Valley, showing strength in detached homes, constrained activity in attached homes, and a notable divergence between the town and its rural surroundings. Let's break it down. INVERMERE, single-family homes, for sales, that's up 33% year over year. Benchmark pricing, $768,000. That's up 4.8% year over year. In INVERMERE, the townhomes, guess what? Zero sales, absolutely none. Zero, nada, zilcho. Benchmark price, however, $512,600. INVERMERE condos and apartments, also zero sales. Benchmark price, $388,200, slight increase of 2.5% year over year. Now let's look at the sister in this thing, INVERMERE Rural, and that tells a bigger story. Single family homes, 9 sales. That's up 12.5% year over year. Benchmark price, $794,500. That's up 6.1%. INVERMERE Rural townhomes, take a guess. How many were sold? None. Not a zilch. Zilcho. Benchmark price, however, $463,400, up 9% year over year. Wow, that's crazy. INVERMERE Rural condos, 5 sales, that's up 25% year over year, and the benchmark price, $289,900. That's slightly up by 0.2%. This is one of the only areas in the entire Kootenays where condo sales increased year over year. Now let's place these results inside the Kootenays as a whole. Kootenay Region Overview, single family sales, 112. Benchmark price, $607,500. Townhome sales, 18. Days to sell for townhomes, 93. That is up 76%. Condo sales, 24, down 27.3%. Condo benchmark, $323,700, slightly up at 1.9%. Compared with these regional numbers, INVERMERE's detached market is significantly outperforming the Kootenays, the whole Kootenays, in both price growth and sales momentum. Balsy, what's really going on here? Well, here's what it looks like on the ground and in the trenches. INVERMERE has always been a market where lifestyle, recreation, and second home demand influence pricing. Buyers come from Alberta, the lower mainland, and across BC looking for lake access, mountain views, vacation properties. Throughout 2023-2024, well-priced single-family homes, especially anything with proximity to Lake Windermere or a strong potential revenue producer, often drew multiple showings within the first week. But this fall, the behavior has changed. Instead of early multiple offers, properties are still selling, but with fewer competing buyers and more deliberate decision making. Some homes that previously would have sold in a weekend now take a few extra weeks, not because demand has collapsed, but because buyers are much more methodical. Now, the biggest trend emerging in 2025 in November is the divergence between detached homes and attached homes. Something we're seeing across the region, but especially pronounced in INVERMERE. And here's what we know. In the INVERMERE town area, 0 townhomes and 0 condos sold. INVERMERE Rural, we had 5 condos sell, completely bucking the regional decline. These were up 25%. 0 townhome sales. Meanwhile, regionally, townhome days on market 93 days. That's up 76%, and sales fell 27%. What this pattern tells us. Detached homes remain the anchor of demand. Attached home interest is selective and geographically sensitive. Buyer urgency is cooling, but prices remain stable or rising. The shift is not a downturn. It is the early stage of momentum normalization. Now, this is going to affect everybody across the Kootenays, across Canada, in fact. One of the biggest forces shaping the housing market going into 2026 is mortgage renewals. The Bank of Canada started easing rates, but reductions so far have been pretty small. Meanwhile, almost 75% of all Canadian mortgages will renew by the end of 2026. Many of these people have locked in previously in 2020, 2021 at a low rate, like a really, really low rate. You remember those? And now they're not going to get that same rate. So how does this affect INVERMERE? Well, INVERMERE attracts move-up buyers, second home purchasers, lifestyle relocators, investors, and retirees. Renewal pressure impacts each of these differently. Some owners may delay selling to avoid renewing into higher payments. Others may choose to sell rather than absorb renewal shocks. And buyers depending on financing will be more payment sensitive than before. Now, because INVERMERE includes both full-time residents and recreation-oriented ownership, small shifts in motivations can have outsized effects on inventory and absorption. So what should you do if you're a buyer? Well, for buyers, this moment presents a unique combination of opportunity and clarity. Here's your strategy. Talk to your bank, talk to your mortgage broker, secure your rate right now. Get that hold on that thing, whether it's 3 months or 6 months, just be ready, okay? Even small movements in rates can reshape your affordability, especially in a market where detached home benchmarks sit between $768,000 and $794,000. Now you can focus on the days on the market across the Kootenays. Townhouses are 93 days, condos are 97 days to sell. Higher days on market segments create negotiation space, even in markets with tight supply like INVERMERE. Now, use the leverage shift. Fewer multiple offer scenarios, buyers gain leverage not only on price, but on subjects, conditions, repairs, possession dates, inclusions. INVERMERE is 4.8% year over year. INVERMERE Rural is 6.1% year over year. Attached home prices are rising too, even though there's fewer sales. Townhomes are plus 1.5%, condos 2.5%, townhomes in the rural 9.4%, and condos in the rural 0.2%. This combination, strong price stability plus softer competition, rarely lasts that long. Now, if I'm a seller, what do sellers do? Well, for sellers in INVERMERE, the path forward is clear. Strategy will determine your success. You have to price with precision. Detached homes are performing well, but buyers are more selective. Attached homes now have slower turnover, so pricing must match market momentum, not last year's peaks. Prepare your home thoroughly. In a market where buyers are taking more time and comparing more carefully, presentation matters. Homes with strong photography, clear updates, social media presence, and accurate pricing outperform others immediately. Understand what segment you're in. Detached homes remain the strongest category. Attached homes require more careful positioning given their slower absorption. Rural properties are performing exceptionally well right now. Now use it timing to your advantage. The INVERMERE market usually sees more activity in late winter, March and April, and early summer ahead of lake season. Launching into seasonal demand can dramatically improve your results. So Belzy, what is the bottom line, you ask? Well, let me tell you, folks. So is a big change coming to the INVERMERE real estate market? Hell yeah. But not the dramatic one that the headlines suggest. We're seeing a normalization of buyer behavior, a cooling in attached home momentum, and a continued strengthening of detached home values. Prices remain stable, they're even rising. Demand remains healthy, but they're being more deliberate with their purchase. And both buyers and sellers have more room to strategize than they've had in years. For buyers, this is a window of opportunity. For sellers, this is a movement for precision and preparation. And for INVERMERE overall, this is the beginning of a shift towards a more balanced, predictable market.